One of the rabies victims, her name was Jamaica, and her loved ones joined us in yesterday's session. She succumbed to rabies 2 months after she was bitten by a stray dog as she was walking home from school. Jamaica was not able to receive immediate medical attention as she regrettably kept the accident to herself. Mr. President, in her last days, Jamaica was able to document her heartbreaking condition as she was trying to be brave throughout the whole ordeal. Mr. President, rabies virtually has a 100% fatality rate once symptoms appear. An average of 300 to 400 Filipinos die of rabies each year, while around 4 million annual bite cases are recorded annually. These numbers place the Philippines sixth among the countries with the highest incident of rabies. Mr. President, isa po si Jamaica sa libo-libong kabataan na naging biktima ng rabies. Isa siya sa mga 300 to 400 na Pilipinong namamatay taon-taon mula sa infection na ito. Mr. President, Jamaica is not just a statistic. She is a representation of an important public health issue. Sa katauhan ng batang si Jamaica, makikita po natin ang kahalagahan ng pagkakaroon ng accessible at sapat na tulong medikal para sa mga viral infection tulad ng rabies. This March, as we observe Rabies Awareness Month, I hope to be a voice for this cause because behind campaigns like this is a haunting and silent reality for families like that of Jamaicans, who suffered from the grim impact of this viral disease. Awareness alone is not enough. We must pursue concrete and sustained solutions to completely prevent rabies. The Animal Bite Treatment Center at San Lazaro Hospital, the National Referral Hospital for Infectious Diseases and Tropical Medicine in the Philippines, and the same hospital where doctors desperately try to save Jamaica, has seen a daily increase in consultations from 800 per day to 3,000, putting significant strain on the workforce and vaccine supplies. For the last 5 years, we saw a continuous rise of rabies-related deaths. From 235 cases in 2020, this ballooned to around 300 last year. In 2025, about 95% of these cases involve animals that are either unvaccinated or have an unknown vaccination status. With recent reports from DOH reflected a 65, while recent reports from the DOH reflected a 65% decrease in rabies cases from January to February 2026 compared to the same period last year, we should not be complacent. While this is a promising indicator of progress, we should complement it with decisive and tangible response. In 2025, the President directed several national and local government hospitals as well as health centers to provide free anti-rabies and anti-bite vaccinations. PhilHealth has also increased its animal bite treatment package to 5,850 pesos from the previous 3,000 pesos to cover essential post-exposure prophylaxis. This package includes rabies vaccine, rabies immune globulin for immediate protection, local wound care, tetanus toxoid and anti-tetanus serum, antibiotics, and necessary medical supplies such as syringes, alcohol, and antiseptics. Mr. President, I would also like to take this privileged hour to reiterate bills that I have filed in Congress that seek to address the interrelated issues and challenges we face concerning animals. We must merge the current governmental efforts with legislative actions that institutionalize our campaign against rabies and a holistic approach towards animal care in general. First, Senate Bill number 255, or the Animal Medical Center Act. If we are truly to promote animal welfare and prevent viral diseases such as rabies, we must ensure greater access to affordable veterinary services. Currently, veterinary clinics remain scarce and are often privately owned, making them inaccessible and unaffordable to many Filipinos. As such, this bill addresses the challenge of limited access to quality veterinary healthcare services across various regions of the country by establishing veterinary clinics in every city or municipality. This would ensure that farmers, pet owners, and communities have reliable access to veterinary healthcare services. Second, we have Senate Bill number 591, or the act promoting the adoption of stray and impounded animals by providing incentives. Mr. President, there are 13.11 million stray cats and dogs in our country. Many of these animals are potential carriers of rabies and other diseases that may pose serious risks to human health. These animals are also those who are struggling to survive on the streets, with hundreds of them being euthanized monthly due to lack of space and resources. As such, this bill aims to encourage the adoption of stray and impounded animals through incentives. On a personal note, we have adopted animals from the Passion Project And we continue to take care of a lot of these stray animals in our own home. Yung iba nasagasaan ng kotse, yung iba ay nabandon ng mga owners. So that's that's one of the things that we enjoy doing, is adopting stray animals, dogs in particular. Many Filipinos consider their pets as members of their family. Some even proudly call themselves fur parents, celebrating their pet's birthday, caring for them with love, and mourning their loss, as they would any loved one. However, not all these animals experience this kind of compassion. While some live comfortably and receive proper care, others endure cruelty, neglect, abandonment. And that's why, Mr. President, we call for reinforced laws and stricter enforcement to elevate our standards for animal welfare. Mr. President, these proposed measures, together with the current efforts of the government, may provide a holistic approach towards addressing the issue of animal welfare and animal-related diseases such as rabies. Yes, rabies has a 100% fatality rate, but it is also 100% preventable. Vaccinating our pets remains our first line of defense, and it is the responsibility of the government to ensure that these are accessible, affordable, and available to every community. At the same time, pet owners share this responsibility by ensuring that their animals are properly vaccinated. In cases of exposure, immediate medical treatment after a bite or scratch can mean the difference between life or death. Preventing rabies, therefore, is not only a matter of policy. It is a shared responsibility between the government, communities, and every pet owner committed to both human and animal lives. In fact, as part of our continuing efforts to combat the spread of rabies, there will be a spay and neuter event spearheaded by the Philippine Veterinary Medical Association in partnership with the Provincial, City, and Municipal Veterinarians League of the Philippines on March 19, 2026. This is a simultaneous nationwide activity to be participated in by at least 19 localities, including a primary event at the Provincial Veterinary Office in Malolos, Bulacan. This event will be held in line with the Rabies Awareness Month and aims to highlight the vital role of animal welfare, responsible pet ownership, and mass spay and neuter initiatives in the effective control and eventual eradication of rabies. Mr. President, dear colleagues, ilang kabataan na tulad ni Jamaica pa ang babawian ng buhay dahil walang sapat na access sa agarang lunas, praktikal na kaalaman at serbisyong veterinaryo. Kung ang asong nakakagat kay Jamaica ay nabakunahan lamang, marahil ay buhay po siya ngayon. It is high time that we translate our shared commitment into concrete action, measures that will strengthen animal welfare, enhance public health protection, and ultimately prevent the loss of both human and animal lives. This is a step closer to better communal responsibility and in advancing universal humanity. By adopting conclusive policies coupled with consistent implementation, we hope to set an example to the future generations on responsible and compassionate pet ownership and purposeful, decisive governmental action reflecting a society that is pragmatic but inclusive and empathetic, even to our animal friends and family members. Thank you, Mr. President.
I can definitely relate to the privileged speech of Senator Mark Villar. For the record, and this is kind of a trivia, in 1958, you were not born yet, and most of our colleagues were not born yet. I was beaten by a dog, the dog of my father. That was 1958. In 1959, I was beaten by another dog of my father. And during those days, there were no anti-rabies, only for people, no, not for the dogs yet. So can you imagine? I had to undergo 27 injections at my back for each time that I was beaten. So 54. Every time I ride the jeep going to San Lazaro Hospital, I started crying already because that's how painful it is. And it was. And that's why I said I can relate to that. And then the anti-rabies was presented in the early 60s, if I'm not mistaken. So how many injections are needed now? If you are beaten by a dog that has probably
parang less than 10 po.
rabies. Huh? Ilan na?
Mga 5 siguro. Hindi na po 50, mga 5 lang siguro, 5 or 6.
5. 5 na lang.
Doon sa wound mismo.
And no longer in the back. Now you know why I don't have dogs for pets. Anyway,
Thank you.
my favorite pet is a horse. Anyway, so Senator
Mr.
Villanueva,
President.
you recognize.
Mr. President, I was going to let you go ahead, but I think my intervention is very aligned with the Senate President. So with the permission
so,
of Senator Joel.
With the permission, go ahead, Senator Pia Cayetano.
Mr. President, I cannot top your story with being injected that many times. But I can top your story in terms of the number of people that had to also get the anti-rabies shot. When I was defending the anti-rabies bill here in the halls of the Senate in the 13th Congress, I don't know, circa 2004 to 2010, somewhere there, maybe 2008, 2009. I was the chairman of the Committee on Health, and I had in my office the WHO representatives, the Veterinarians Association, the DA, because sa kanila ka-under yon, defending the bill on the floor. That's why they were there. I was waiting for my turn. And then I got a call that my daughter was bitten by a dog. So my brother had to rush her, and the problem that we still have now, even though ang first dose is day 0, second dose is day 7, then you will receive a single dose of a booster shot. There's also a 3-dose schedule. So hindi na kasing dami. Pero syempre, it's still very traumatic. And the problem is, it's not easily available in a health center because I think it's packaged in a bulk. So thankfully, we live in Alabang. Katabi namin yung RITM. Kaya mahal na mahal ko yung RITM na yan. Meron sila doon, pero you cannot go to an average clinic and get a vaccination. Anyway, that's not even the end of my story. Then nag-break, umuwi sa probinsya yung chief of staff ko na nandun, tinatrabaho yung biofuel bill natin. Pagdating niya doon, silang dalawa ng anak niya, nakagat din ng aso. So habang nasa probinsya siya, nag-i-injection din sila. So matindi ho talaga yung anti-rabies issue na yan. And we still have a long way to go. And at that time that I defended it, everybody was saying, ano ba naman yung bill na yan, rabies? That's not a big deal. Tapos may namatay na hapon. Kasi pagpunta niya galing siya dito, pag uwi niya ng Japan, hindi nila ma-figure out kung ano yung problema niya. Kasi wala nang rabies doon. At that time, we are only one of 5 countries that still has rabies. Baka ngayon, one of one na lang tayo. Sana pa wala na rin. I just wanted to share that, Mr. President.
Thank you. And again, Senator Mark Villar, thank you very much for your privileged speech. Senator Joel Villanueva is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, as mentioned by Senator Pia, we cannot top your story about being beaten twice. I wonder, Mr. President, how your mom reacted to your dad having beaten twice and experiencing that much of injections, Mr. President. But anyway, Mr. President, if we can ask some questions, just 1 or 2 questions to the distinguished gentleman from Las Piñas, Senator Villar. This representation would like to state for the record that we are in full support of his privileged speech and his intention to address this big problem, Mr. President, this problem that we have been experiencing for quite a long time. In fact, Mr. President, when I was in the House of Representatives 20 plus years ago, Mr. President, we have been talking about this, and everyone would come up with a vision of a rabies-free Philippines, Mr. President. And since then, there had been like 3 or 4 administrations, Mr. President. 4 na ho na administration. And I don't know, Mr. President, nag-i-improve ba tayo? Okay ba tayo? So, Mr. President, ang tanong ko lang po, actually simple and practical question, and I think the good gentleman from Las Piñas made mention that there are about more or less 13 million stray dogs in the country. Is that the correct figure? Or do we have really a figure, Mr. President, itong mga stray dogs natin? Because how can we say, for example, every administration, Mr. President, I recall, would come up with a plan, Mr. President. Every administration, for the past 4 administrations, I remember, they are planning or coming up with something that in the year ganito, rabies-free Philippines na tayo. But I don't know, Mr. President, until now, I myself, Mr. President, I have a friend of mine na cousin niya, Mr. President, na namatay din po because of rabies. So, may I ask that question to our distinguished colleague, Mr. President?
To answer, thank you, Mr. President. To answer your question first is the numbers were given to us by the Bureau of Animal Industries of the Department of Agriculture. So those are their numbers. And at
The number is 13.
Yes, would be
13
yes,
million.
Yes. And yes, unfortunately, with regards to rabies, as the good Senator Senator Pia mentioned earlier, most countries are already rabies-free. We have not yet achieved that in the Philippines. In fact, if there's a visitor who comes here, hindi pa nila alam yung rabies dahil wala na talaga sa vokabularyo nila yung rabies. But that's why I think it's really awareness. As you said earlier, it's 100% curable. So
Yes.
siguro magkaroon lang ng mas additional training and awareness, and that's part of the bill. And centers for veterinary health, I think that would be go a long way into eliminating, not just minimizing, pero sana ma-eliminate na itong rabies dahil hindi na talaga halos sa buong mundo wala nang rabies. Sa atin lang meron pa.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Mr. President. But still, Mr. President, I'm quite having some reservations when you talk about the figures. For example, the 13 million. How did you actually get the 13 million? I mean, I can see a lot of stray dogs in the streets of Metro Manila, especially in the province. I'm not going to debate or talk about the figures given to our distinguished colleague, but perhaps ask, when you talk about other countries' experiences, Mr. President, what was the turning point, Mr. President, of addressing and what would you just say, Mr. President, the reason behind the rabies-free communities, Mr. President, for other countries?
Yeah, it's a comprehensive solution. This includes one, the unavailability of vaccine. These are the factors that that affect our country that continue to allow rabies to be an issue. One is the unavailability of the vaccines. Two is the lack of awareness of the existence of the lack of awareness, and of course, lack of responsibility for the dog owners, lack of adequate animal bite facilities, hesitancy on the possible cost of treatments, non-completion of the treatments, and non-implementation of impounding projects at the LGU level. So these are the major factors that we need to improve on in order to reach zero rabies level.
Thank you, Mr. President. One last, probably, Mr. President. Our administration, this administration, is envisioning a rabies-free Philippines. And do we have a time frame for that?
As of now,
Because again, every administration, I have heard every administration, for the past 4 administrations, rabies-free Philippines, Mr. President.
yes, there's no, as of now, I'm not aware of any timeline. That's why I hope to bring awareness to this issue with your help also. In fact, the event is actually in Bulacan, so I think that's
Yes.
that's a very good start. And of course, with the creation of more centers and more awareness, we hope that we can achieve that. And maybe the government can come up with their own timeline to eventually eradicate rabies in our country.
I hope so, Mr. President. And I joined the gentleman from Las Piñas in pushing for possible reforms that we can do, maybe through budgeting also, Mr. President. Adoption, Mr. President. Believe it or not, we have adopted several puppies before, even yung mga matatanda na po na walang gustong kumuha. And unfortunately, Mr. President, even the process of adoption is kind of extra challenge, Mr. President. So I hope we can also do something about it. And please count me in as one of your allies here in the Senate, Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you to our distinguished colleague, Senator Mark Villar.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Jingo Estrada is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. Maaari ba hong magtanong sa ating kasamahan mula sa Las Piñas, kung maaari lang.
Yes, please.
Maraming salamat po, Ginoong Pangulo. Ilan na ba namamatay dahil sa rabies dito sa ating bansa?
Every year, on average, it ranges from 300 to 400.
300
fluctuates.
to 400 deaths
Yes, per
every
year.
year.
Yes.
Because of rabies.
Yes.
Dahil lang ba ito sa kagat ng aso?
Dahil lang ba? karamihan dogs, but animals in general, pag nakagat ka ng isang animal, dapat ang usual procedures, magpa-vaccination ka na kagad.
Okay, ano itong mga hayop na merong mga rabies? Bukod sa aso.
Well, cats also, mammals in general. But karamihan po kasi usually
Monkeys.
yung bite cases is dogs. Pero
Monkeys
posible
meron.
siguro, kailangan meron din.
Bats.
Pero very rarely. Rats,
Ano yung bat sa Tagalog?
bats.
Paniki. Mga paniki. What else?
Very rarely, siguro. Yeah, bas mammals in general, if pag nakagat ka ng isang mammal, may possibility.
Saan ba nakukuha yung rabies?
Saan?
Saan ba nakukuha yun?
Saan nakukuha? Sa mammals? Sa blood? It's a bloodborne infection.
Okay,
Okay.
kasi uli katanungan lang. Just very curious about this. Kasi usually yung ating mga kababayan, lalo na yung masang Pilipino, minsan kumakain sila ng aso. Tama?
Yes.
Minsan niluto nila, kinakaldereta nila. Kapag ba kumain ka ng aso na na may rabies, magkakaroon ka ba ng rabies?
Wala pang case. Wala pang known case na kasi usually naluto na yan.
Yan.
Hindi mo naman hindi mo naman kakaining live siguro. But it's more of a blood. So usually pag kinagat ka at may bleeding or may
So
or
walang
na-break yung skin,
scientific findings na kung kumain ka ng aso na may rabies, it does not necessarily mean na magkakaroon din yung taong kumain ng rabies.
siguro
na magkakaroon ng rabies.
siguro pag raw, pag kinain mo ng raw,
Hindi, wala naman siguro kakain.
wala naman siguro.
Wala naman siguro kakain ng hilaw na aso.
Wag naman
Unless
kumain
yung
ng
mga
hilaw
primitives.
na aso. Pero kung luto naman yung ayoko naman
Meron-
I'm against
meron na ba?
I'm against dog hindi ako sangayon sa
Meron bang naitala ang Bureau of Animal Industry na meron kumakain sa mga Pilipino na hilaw na aso?
wala naman sir. Wala naman Mr. President na walang cases na wala lang akong data pero wala naman sigurong cases na yung mga taong kumakain ng raw na aso.
Ano ba yung asong mahilig kumagat? Babae o lalaki?
Wala po tayong statistics kung anong mas sorry Mr. President, we have no statistics but we can look for
This was just a phone-in question. Anyway, maraming salamat po, Ginoong Pon. Thank you very much.
Thank you.